I'm gonna teach you 10 things that will increase your chances to find a job in Finland. Let's go. First of all, you really need to understand the Finnish job market, the supply and demand. Because here's the thing, it will be difficult for anyone to find a job unless there is a real demand in that field. Because some fields have simply too much people and some fields have too less people, too few. What if there are 1,000 other people fighting for the same job as you are? Maybe they're equally as good as you or better than you. Without forgetting the fact that you're competing against Finns who have Finnish skills and the network. And here's a quick resource you can use to find out if there are shortage or demand in your field. It's called Ammattibarometer, professional barometer. So the barometer is the view of the TE offices about the development prospects in key occupations in the near future. And you can use this to get ideas where there's demand. Here we can see, for example, that commercial sales representatives have pretty good looking situation. There's a lack of job seekers in many areas. For translators and interpreters, it seems the situation is in balance at the moment. But you definitely don't want to be a secretary because look at this. There's way too many people fighting for jobs, not looking so good. You can also get regional estimates and search by occupation. Next, I want to talk about the Finnish skills. Because here's the deal. It really takes 1 to 2 years at least to attain Finnish skills that allow you to work in Finnish in a Finnish company. And to add insult to injury, there are some jobs that just simply require Finnish. For example, customer-related jobs where you need to interact with Finnish customers who only speak Finnish or mainly speak Finnish. For example, my Turkish friend got a sales position in a Finnish company whose customers are mainly global and outside of Finland. So it made sense to hire a person in an English-speaking position. So if your language skills are not enough, what should you do? Well, you should find out those companies who hire in English in your field and look for positions that do not require Finnish. I know at least a few fields where Finnish is not necessary, like IT, engineering, and some restaurant jobs also do not require Finnish. And you need to start researching those companies. Use Google, LinkedIn, and websites like jobsinfinland.com. If you can find job listings in English, that's already a good sign, because if the listing is in English, it means that there's no Finnish required in most cases. You also want to do some research and recon what the Finnish employers actually want. And luckily, most job listings, there's a clear paragraph of the requirements, what you need to be a suitable candidate for that job. Let me give you an example. Here are 4 different job listings for analysts. So have a look at this and write these down. Make like an Excel sheet where you write down these criteria, what they're looking for. In this example, it's good to have a look what kind of technologies and software they require. Even if you don't fill all the requirements, don't let that stop you. You can still apply and see what happens. When you apply, you actually need to communicate that your skills and background can fill these needs. I'm gonna show you a few examples later on about a cover letter and CV. Let's talk about networking. Everybody says that in Finland you need to start networking from the day one, because up to 70% of the jobs are not publicly listed anyway. Public recruitment process can be expensive and time consuming. So instead, employers use their networks to find a suitable candidate. A quick example, there was a person who quit their job and the boss asked if they knew anyone that could fill the position. And actually the person who quit the job had a person in mind, suggested to the boss, and eventually that person filled the position, so the employer didn't have to start a very heavy recruitment process. And I know what you're thinking. You need to network with silent, reserved Finns. Talk about Mission Impossible. And don't worry, it's all about breaking the ice. You really need to start meeting and chatting with people. And if you're a student, for example, you're in a great position because you can meet your study buddies, teachers, professors, company representatives. That's how I managed to start building my professional network back in the day. So if you're moving to Finland or if you've already moved to Finland, start networking now. Is there a tool for this? That is called LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a social media for professionals and it's very much used in Finland. You can create a free account and you can put all kinds of information about you, your previous job experience, your education, projects, and so on. And if you meet anyone in a professional setting and you have a nice professional conversation, I always recommend to add them on LinkedIn. Of course, you can ask them if it's okay to add. For example, when I was working as a sales manager, I always added my customers or potential customers after the meeting, even if the conversation didn't go anywhere. It's a good idea to add as many people as possible. Your friends, your workmates, your previous supervisors, your ex-lovers, current lovers, future lovers, okay, maybe not the lovers. And most importantly, you can grow your network and interact with other professionals in your field. And on LinkedIn, you can browse posts or you can post yourself. When other people react, comment on the posts, their network will also see those posts and comments. So let's say you make a post at some point that, hey, I'm looking for a job in this and this kind of position. If you know anyone who wants a professional in this field, let me know. And maybe someone in your network may know someone who is looking for a person like you, and then they can match you and you can expand your opportunities this way. For example, I got my previous sales position in a funny way. I met this dude back in the university in a student party. We kind of had a chat and nothing kind of crazy happened. We had added on each other on Facebook and LinkedIn, and he was about to graduate. I was in my first year, and then 5-6 years forward, I was about to graduate looking for my first job, and then I saw this guy posting that, hey, I'm looking for a fresh sales person in my company. And then I called him, hey, do you remember me from the student times? Yeah, I remember you, and I'm gonna meet and discuss more. And then I eventually got the job. You can do the same. And would you like to learn some in-depth stuff, how to discover these hidden job opportunities in Finland? I got something for you. My friend Varpu from Her Finland has created Get Discovered online course, which will teach you how to network with Finnish professionals and how to discover hidden job opportunities in Finland. You will learn how to create an attractive LinkedIn profile for Finnish employers, build your industry network, and how to start conversation with Finnish professionals. You will also get access to her private LinkedIn group. Check out the details from the link in the description. You also want to make sure that your degree is recognized in Finland, because some professions are regulated, which means that you need a specific training, qualification, or right to practice a certain profession. So in other words, if you're qualified to do a profession abroad, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're qualified to do it in Finland. Some examples of regulated jobs in Finland are early childhood education, healthcare professions, social welfare, and rescue services. And the Finnish National Agency for Education has created this flowchart and guide where you can check whether you need your qualifications recognized by a Finnish authority. Links in the description. Next, I will tell you about the CV and cover letter, and I'm gonna show you an example of my CV and cover letter. And it's a little bit outdated. I haven't been applying for jobs for a while, but you can get an idea how to get started. First of all, you wanna make sure that it looks appealing and easy to read, because this is your chance to stand out. If it looks good, then they will be like, wow, let's learn more about this person. And you can find these templates on canva.com for free. As for CV, keep it 1 to 2 pages. And the most important stuff here is your experience, your educations, and your skills. For education, you want to keep it quite simple and straightforward. Just tell them what you've studied, where, and what your degree is. Experience is the most important thing here. You want to be as concrete and concise as possible. What can you do? And what have you done for your previous employers? Use action phrases like I obtained, I accomplished, I reached, and so on. And of course, you want to add your language skills, and especially Finnish. And even if you just know basics of Finnish, that's also good, because you're giving the impression that you're ready to put effort to learn Finnish. If you just know perkele, no niin, and kippis, that's also good. Next, the cover letter. Cover letter is the answer to those needs your employer has listed in the job listing. In my opinion, it's also important to let your personality shine, because the cultural fit is also important in Finnish jobs. Let me show you mine. And yes, I actually used a meme in my cover letter, and I actually landed a job interview with this. There is a joke that the Finnish engineers are really shit at selling, which is true, by the way. I have a Master of Science, it's kind of like an engineering degree, and I still know how to sell. So it made sense to create this like meme that there's an engineer who also knows how to sell. And as you can see, I also put a little bit effort with the design. There's colors, easy to read fonts, and short paragraphs. And with each of these paragraphs, I want to tell that my background and my skills are a good fit for this role. And if you really want to walk the extra mile, which you definitely should if you're serious about finding a job in Finland, it's to reach the companies directly. I haven't done this myself, but I have heard others, both Finnish and foreigners, doing this successfully. You just want to introduce yourself and inquire whether there are job opportunities. And no matter what the result is, there are many benefits for you. You can ask if you can send like an open application, and ask if you can add the recruiting manager on LinkedIn. I understand it can be really tough to find a job here. Maybe you have to send 10, 20, 50, even 100 applications. But here's the thing, you only need to convince one employer to trust in you. That's all it takes. For today's bonus tip, we have the labor unions. In short, the labor unions take care of the employees. They will negotiate the collective labor agreements and offer services like legal services and career coaching, plus other perks and benefits. And I strongly recommend you to join a labor union, because they can, for example, help you to figure out if you're paid too less. And the good news is that the membership fee is 100% tax deductible. Fee depends on the union. For example, I'm a member of Tech. The fee is maybe 350 euros a year, but I get all the services and the tax deduction. You can use a website called jäseneksi.fi to find out the suitable union for you. And if you're wondering what other troubles Finland will give you, make sure to watch this video and find out.